Hey everyone, this is Kat from kokoro&me. Welcome back to another video, and first of all, apologies for the radio silence in the last 2 weeks. Life has been a little challenging, not only for me but also for a couple of friends which I needed to support, so I had barely any time to actually do some recordings, but here I am back with a new video. This is kind of a little quick one, but I thought it might be quite some fun to actually build your own home you're living in, so I decided to build the apartment, and this is basically where I got to. We live on top of shops, so there are flats on top of a row of lots of different shops kind of thing, and the building isn't really that exciting, so I decided to prepare the floor plan and everything beforehand and then just straight go into the furnishing. So what you are seeing me doing right now is actually furnishing our kitchen. And not to justify myself or anything like this, but we're living in a somewhat small apartment just because we're currently saving up to buy a house, and it's easier if you keep the costs down and as low as possible. So one day I will potentially have my dream house. Might be quite nice actually to give this a try and build it next in a way. I mean, I think my very first video actually was like somewhat of my dream house, but that was kind of huge. So I would never want to live in, I don't know, a house with like 20 rooms or anything like this. So I might give it a try and actually do a realistic build at some point. I think that might be quite nice. But yeah, let's jump straight into the build. So you've just seen me finish the kitchen, and now moving on to the downstairs bathroom. So basically we're living in a 2.5 bedroom maisonette. So we have 2 floors, and downstairs we have the entrance hall. We've got a little room that we call the Harry Potter room, just because it's like a staircase room, or a room underneath the staircase. Got a big living room, smaller kitchen, and then the landlord who is owning but was living in it before decided to kind of extend it a little bit. So that's the part we're looking at right now. So there's a tiny square attached to it with a small bathroom, and it basically has the washing machine, etc. in it, so it's kind of like a little extra, and we use it as a guest bathroom. The part you're watching right now is somewhat of a little, I'd say, hallway towards the back door, and currently we use that for the food bowls and the toilet for our kitties. So we've got 2 cats. One is a Holy Burman, I think you call them, and the other one is I think she's a mix between a British Longhair and potentially Maine Coon or anything. So she's somewhat black, although when we got her she was chocolate brown kind of thing, and that's the reason why we got her. But I don't resent her for suddenly having black fur when she grew up. But yeah, 2 long fur kitties that are absolutely lovely, and they have their own little space for food, so they have their feeding stations there as well as their toilet. Currently we're looking at the dining room part of our big living room, so it's kind of like a really big room that has lots of space for your TV unit as well as sofas and a little dining room area. So we decided to put it right opposite the kitchen, so you have easy access, and when you like have a nice big dinner or anything like this, you can just carry it outside of the kitchen and don't have to like carry it across rooms or anything like that. Unfortunately, during this build, I was kind of focused on trying to make this look as realistic as possible, but our furniture, basically, I think 99% from Ikea, and basically the Sims furniture didn't really match that too well, so I tried to kind of get it somewhat realistic, but I think the look and feel of the house kind of had to lose out a little bit, so I wouldn't call it my best furnishing build or anything like this, but at least it's close to how we live in. I did show it to my mom the other day, some screenshots of it, and she was like, oh, you're building your house. So it was good that she noticed that. That means I've done somewhat of a good job, I guess. It was actually quite hard to find the right sofa for this, because we do have a light grey sofa that kind of goes around the corner, so it has a reclamier attached to it. The Sims doesn't really have anything like this. And I think that's also something that The Sims 4 really needs in the future. Kind of realistically looking sofas, because they're all quite snazzy, the ones they have, but I feel like none of them are, they feel so harsh and hard and not cozy like the ones I had to choose in the end that were kind of the closest to what we've got. They just look really uncomfortable, like nearly like a, I don't know, a stone sofa or something, by I guess the harsh surface and all that stuff. But yeah, either way, that's how close I can get, I think. So since we're living on top of flats, we do have kind of a really big joined sun terrace. So all the other flats kind of are joined up, but for some reason, so we're on flat 6 and there's 7 and 8 next to us. And us 3, we basically are the only ones that have somewhat of a brick wall area. So they decided to kind of fence it off and have your own space. So that's basically why we have some walls and the others don't, but they kind of made use of it as well by putting plants, etc. So that was quickly furnishing the terrace area. We don't really have much there, so it's a barbecue as well as a set of table and chairs and some hangers for the fresh wash, although it's not really a long one. It's kind of like the little umbrella type one, but the Sims doesn't really have this one. Moving on to the top floors, so what we've got there are actually 2.5 bedrooms and our big bathroom, and the bathroom has both a shower and a bathtub, so I decided to kind of try and make it as realistic as possible. So with those 2 towels, for example, we've got this heater unit that is kind of attached to the wall, and we actually use it to kind of heat up our towels when we go to shower in the winter or anything like this, and kind of have it there to hold the towels in a way. So I tried to make it look like this a little bit. But yeah, but at that point I just realized it's really hard to make it realistic or make it look like your home, so you have to kind of work with what is there. And now looking at the bedroom, I've got like a little dressing table right opposite the bed, and we've got a feature wall there as well, and then I just couldn't find any mirror that was kind of similar to what we've got. And I guess I had the same situation a little bit in the bathroom part of this, because basically it's just a big squarey mirror, and there wasn't really like anything that kind of looked like it, so I just had to go with whatever I thought could work in the end. So we're now looking at the room I'm currently sitting in. So we've got, one of the bedrooms basically we turned into a little office room, and we both have our desks opposite each other, and then have some shelves in there as well where I store lots of stuff. So I used to cosplay quite a lot, so that's why I have the mannequin in there. So I used to make costumes and sew, and basically this room and the bedroom, they both have inbuilt wardrobes, so they're kind of like a wardrobe wall, and in the bedroom obviously we store our clothes, but in the office room I just use that for lots of cosplay stuff or costume stuff, sewing machines and tools and everything. So that's why we kind of use this room, I think. Then the other room that's basically left, which we're looking at right now, is like a super tiny bedroom. They call it a third bedroom, but it's so tiny you can barely fit a bed in there. So yeah, it's not that easy, but we use it as a guest room, and that's kind of nice. But yeah, that's pretty much the home we're living in at the moment, so you get a little impression. I really can't wait to actually like properly design my own home when we actually buy it. And I'm super looking forward to that, so I'm training my skills a little bit by being a little Sims designer. I think that could be quite nice. But yeah, we're living here, that's our home. I hope you liked today's video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and if you did build your own home at some point, please leave a link in the comments below so I can have a look where you're living in. Either way, have a happy Sunday. Bye bye!